we put in. Is that we want to show you that we want to be with you and want to be married to you guys. So we haven't had a divorce yet, so it goes back to that priority for us.
This is on both parts, a monthly contract.
Yeah, yes, sir, it's month to month. I mean, a lot of people want to lock them in. Not me. I know what I'm looking off.
How are your help tickets handled? Do you install a program on everybody's computer?
So we usually do it's a little agent that's on the front of the computer, and what we do that's different than most folks is I give you your engineer's phone numbers, but also we like to push everything through the lab tech agent if possible. But at the end of the day, you guys are used to Raleigh. I want to make that as close to that scenario as possible, meaning that you can call him anytime, you have his extension, you have his email direct line. Most of my customers have like Aaron Wallace at uniongov.com. He's just a part of your infrastructure. So the way you contact Riley is the same way you contact Aaron. Now, we have some economy of scales and efficiencies that you can do a help desk ticket through the little system tray at the bottom. Of course, we have that, and it goes right to Aaron, and it goes right to the 3 engineers that cover your account. And then it backs up to the help desk.
Is the response time the same on the ticket?
Yeah, it depends on the issue of the ticket, but it goes based upon that time frame, yes, sir.
Yeah, because that's what we're used to now, and that's what we're going to have to acclimate into. Like I said earlier with another presentation, is right now we are used to having somebody on site. So let's say, for example, the state's attorney, he's doing something off the laptop, it goes down, he's used to being able to pick up the phone and Raleigh coming up there looking over his shoulder to do it.
Right.
Whereas if now, you know, we might have Aaron log into that to see what's wrong, because if we call him, then are these response times for after hours, or is this, let's take that scenario. State's attorney's down, well, that would be a level 4,
Right.
according to this, which is within 48 hours, but he's in court, I need it now.
Right. That would be an exception that would get for state's attorney. That's a level 1 if he's down and there is a court case that has to be adjudicated. That, you know, whatever language, we're not trying to harbor you into a little.
No, but see, but that's what I'm trying to get, because, you know, the same way as the sheriff's department, if one of their laptops go down, or so, everything at that time, when it's down, in the eyes of the holder, is a level 1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm getting at. When it goes down, whoever's sitting behind that computer screen, it's a level 1.
Well, because of the laptops for my guys is critical, because this is how we do everything.
And that's what I'm getting at.
We have to do our reporting for our crashers, for report writing, any of that. So when they're without that, they can't work.
Right, right,
Yeah, but here's the deal too, Scott, with that, you know, if it did go down, then we're still gonna have to get on the phone, call Raleigh to see whatever. Now, my question is, if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, the computer goes down, then, and it's a level 1 in our eyes, then I'm sure Aaron didn't want to get a call at 3 o'clock in the morning to log on there to find out what's going on, but we have to have that up at the time. So,
I'm gonna be calling my business hours to, hey, we gotta get this fixed.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
good call.
Unless it's a server issue,
Unless it's a critical
major
scenario.
network
There you go.
issue.
Good.
And Aaron and all my guys know, IT is not an 8 to 5 job. Never is. It's never convenient, right? And that's why we can't bill it from an 8 to 5 scenario. And that's why we have to put some, like, where other companies that after 5, it's a billable charge. We can't do that for you from that scenario, and I don't want to do that for you, to be honest with you, because you're used to that route. You're used to that call at 3 o'clock in the morning. And if it needs to happen, Aaron, how many customers at SEMO Electric, an ISP, how many times they call you at night?
I was up till 4 o'clock yesterday morning working with SEMO Electric.
My guys are used to it.
Yeah, and that's something, that the other commissioner brought up is, you know, when we're looking at that, we have to look at what's best for our employees and the office holders to do their job, but then our job too is we have to look, like you said, where it meets the wallet, and we're the wallet.
100%, 100%.
So I want the best what we get, but, you know, like you said, if we get into this billing of the after hours, and, you know, then we run into the, you know, our monthly expense now is going to go up through the roof. You know, we have to put a safeguard in there somewhere.
It also, that's a twofold scenario, why it's a 30-day out, right? When a 30-day out is, I'm not saying you guys, right? But we're kind of going in this blind. Agreed?
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah,
going in blind, do
and I
it this
get
way or do this way. So I put a 30-day out in there, it's not only for you guys, it could be for me. I've had customers, not you guys, not a city, but that have taken advantage of that. And I went into marriage with the best of intentions, and they didn't. And I had to let them go. Yes, we haven't lost an account since 2009, except for like medical companies like BJC buying another one out. But have I fired a account? I have 2 of them, because the handshake agreement and the agreement that's in front of them, they didn't abide by it. Because my good faith of not billing them was taken as weakness, and boy, they just ran with that. And that's just not my business model. I come in here as a service provider and hopefully make a fair trade, fair dollar for what we're trying to provide for what Raleigh service is. And hopefully you don't take advantage of me, and I don't take advantage of you. And if anyone get cross, well, ignore such a.
Well, and hopefully too, with the IT the way that it is, that those kind of things would be few and far between, because you're staying ahead of the game the whole time.
100%.
So with the state's attorney calling you and say, hey, my laptop just crashed, you guys should be able to see that before it happens.
And we can remote in, with the advanced softwares that we have now, we can remote in
Yes.
with things that are, and we will tell you, but we can remote in Angie's computer and say, she's working on something, and like, Angie, we're gonna remote in, but you're not gonna even know, but we'll let you know that we're gonna remote in and fix your Outlook, or fix your CRM plugin, or your billing, or DevNet, right? DevNet you guys use, DevNet, or your CAD lawman, and your guy wouldn't even know it. Hey, just pull up to the station where Wi-Fi is at, we're gonna fix the mobile crash reporting, and then, okay, go and get a coffee, and then also do your, whatever you have to do from a paperwork scenario. By the time you get out in the car, hopefully it'll be fixed. We do that kind of stuff behind the scenes all the time. And that's what makes this minutia of contract, which I love talking contract, because everybody's gotta make sure the T's and C's are crossed, right? But the minutia of managed services, that's why it goes back to that trust factor I mentioned before, is because there's these intangibles within contract law that never can be fully covered. But it's looking someone in the eye and say, hey, trust us, we have your best interest in line, and we have contractual language that says, if we don't.
Okay, another question too, as far as our website, host and design, do you?
Yeah, so hosting we can do, website changes we can do, from literally putting, like, the big thing that I heard from Angie when we were in here, is that you guys post meetings and video of your guys' sessions. All day, we can put that, we can upload that, we can host it wherever we want. Now, design is a different scenario, meaning that IT companies don't usually do website design. It's just a concrete company trying to do interiors. It's just a total different game. Do we know IT designers? Of course. I'm sure you guys maybe want to use a local company that's around here to kind of keep money within the counties.
But whatever design we have, you will make sure it all works.
We will definitely make sure all the plugins work, everything to the state's attorney's office, everything from that scenario will work from we're a liaison, because the website design is a third party. It'd be like us trying to mitigate your guys' jail and camera system that's through some third party company. We'll make sure that connectivity's there, we'll make sure that design elements from the board get into there, but the guys who write that code, that design, and make that graphically look nice, that's not us.
Now, I just want to make sure that if whatever design is up, when I go down here and click that to open this window or these other folders over here, when I click that, I want that to work.
Right, and if it doesn't work, then we're your liaison to make that work. Okay?
All right.
Just like your phone system. Like your phone system is a Mitel system, right? Through Frontier, right? Well, Frontier has the codec, right? And we can do moves, adds, and changes, right? Add Alex, add different folks, right? But at the end of the day, to actually get in the back-end system, you guys pay a maintenance contract for that. But we're the liaison because my team's technical and can talk that technical jargon and get who's ever phone fixed.
Can you make it talk to everybody in the courthouse?
If it can, if what you can
So
do,
here's the problem. We don't have any way of notifying somebody in an emergency in this building. The intercom system will not, all I can do is on my floor. I can't give an intercom a blanket message to anybody in this building other than
is the
mine.
intercom a separate system?
Well, I don't know. I don't,
That's
it's
just-
all a Mitel system and I don't understand it.
I think we should be able to do that
with what we've got, but I.
Most systems, I'll tell you, because I've installed a lot of voice over IP systems, what they have called paging ports, right? And if you have a paging system, what they call a Viking speaker, it's probably the most commonality speaker. Viking speaker, you put a paging port, dial 942, it's usually like an extension code, but a real weird one, right? So no one dials it by accident and starts talking out loud. But, I'm saying, and then all of a sudden you can page 942, then you can page all zones. And then there's a page code usually for Mitel. Mitel's a really good system. It's like ShoreTel or Cisco. It's a number 1 or 2 or 3 systems out there, right? So you dial that code and you can do 941 is maybe level 3 or, or ambulance. It's all integrated over voice, so you can do paging codes based upon that. But you have to have the speakers, and the paging port has to be activated, which we can get with Frontier, see if that'll work. We can do our own discovery with that's more of a discovery question, but it's definitely in our wheelhouse to figure out whether it can or can't do.
Okay.
Well, like we could pick up our phone downstairs and intercom a specific extension up here. You just can't do an all call where
blanket.
it would put it out to every phone.
From your cell phone.
No, from the desk phone.
Uh,
So they are somewhat connected because we can intercom
There's gotta
other
be a program.
floors.
There's gotta be, Scott.
Probably,
Yeah, it's there.
We can get with Frontier, because you guys have an active service contract with Frontier. So if we tell them that, hey, this system, we want it to actively page, what they call page zones, activated, it could literally be a tick box and a GUI that needs to be put. Seen it a million times.
Somebody's been able to answer that for me, and so that's why
Right.
I asked, because we don't have a way to notify this whole building if we.
I can tell you 100% that I can give you that answer if you give me 24 hours. But I can't fix it. I can't fix it necessarily. I ain't promised I can fix it. I can just get you an answer whether you can or can't do it.
The website maintenance and so forth,
Yes,
is
sir.
that included in the?
Yeah, maintenance hosting, that's part of our services, because maintenance because how we look at a website, it's just another server to us, to be honest with you.
right.
And as we're doing, I've asked this to everybody,
Mhm.
we're currently delayed showing the video of the meeting.
Delayed.
It's not live. I mean, we're taping it
We're
right
down.
now. It's gonna go on there later on today on a YouTube deal.
Okay,
Can you
make it live.
make it live?
Yeah, you can live stream it straight to YouTube if you want
I
to.
wanna live stream it straight to our site.
Yeah, you can
Or
either,
somebody can get on our website and watch it live.
yeah, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either build all that streaming yourself, which I would not recommend, or you can live stream it to YouTube, but then embed that YouTube video into your site.
Yeah.
So they would go to your site, click play, it's a live stream, it's just coming through YouTube on the back end.
All right.
And speaking of the websites, as far as postings to the websites, I mean, some things, they're not urgent, they don't have to go up right away. Sometimes we may get the agenda done at 5 o'clock, it's gotta be posted by 8 o'clock the next morning.
Just let us know time frames.
Okay.
Just like anybody, you'd like to know a little bit ahead of time.
Right,
Give us
and
some
that's,
scenario.
and normally it'd be, I need it posted within the next 2 days, but sometimes it does, run over and may need to be posted the next day. I don't think it's ever been within 30 minutes or within an hour, not like
Yeah.
that, so.
Grant, would you explain that situation you've got down there?
I have fiber running into one building.
At
I have
least
2
you're-
buildings.
Okay,
My crews are across the street.
okay,
They do their computer reporting on PCRs.
okay.
It then, right now, it's running on a wireless G system, which is just, to me, unacceptable. I don't think our encryption is deep enough for that information to be traveling to my server. It opens us up to a breach of data, which we both know that if we get into violation of these new
HIPAA?
HIPAA rules, the HIPAA police are present.
One incident, one leak of EFI, electronic personnel, is up to $10,000 per instance. So it can get pricey.
So what I'm proposing is, I'm assuming that, having asked the same question to other vendors, that we would most likely have to make the purchase of the hardware portion of this. You guys could install whatever, like a small ubiquity system.
Be a point-to-point.
Yes,
Point-to-point ubiquity system, because it's the most cost-effective to do line of sight.
and our line of sight is clear.
Yeah, you said it's right across the street,
Oh,
right?
my gosh, it's a piece of cake on that. But I want it to where the system is ghosted, nobody can interfere with that. A previous vendor had mentioned, you know, making sure that, you know, MAC address on one end, MAC address on the other, third party tries to enter, it can't happen. Whatever our security system, but I want to make sure that by the time that information uploads into the folder on my server on my side of the street, that it's safe. And with that, whatever, I walked in late, so I apologize because I was on the phone taking care of other things, but making sure that our server then is backed up, mirrored somewhere, so that, and encrypted, because with everything going on, with these guys starting to make these surprise visits on entities, that I am protecting the entity. Because you said it yourself, these cops are deep, and I know that. And I have to report that publicly. I'm to the point of getting airtime on a local TV station to say we were breached.
Well, and here's the problem about the HIPAA police, even though they're scary, right? And we have to abide by them, at least a lot of the places that I work have to abide by them. But the money that they get are so few and far between from like folks like you, right? Which they're looking for the big dollars, right? But where the everyday Joe, which is ambulance districts, because I had a health department that just got hit, it's ransomware. It's locking up your systems, which is a breach, and then saying, hey, let's look at their financials, and I've seen this down to a penny, where they look at someone's financials for the year and make their ransom what they earn quarterly, just to show them that they know how much they earn, and do you want to pay a ransom quarterly to get your data back? I've seen it. So my point is, yes, we can do that. We can make sure that those breaches from HIPAA are all check the boxes, but more importantly, that your data doesn't become compromised by some Russian 21-year-old kid and wants to exert $21,000 from the city government, county government, sorry. That's our biggest hurdle. That's what we want to prevent, because the likelihood of HIPAA police coming is less than 0.001. I'm just in the realm of happening. Ransomware is not an if anymore. It's a when. It's a
I guarantee you the
18%.
Russians are knocking on your door right now. Like somebody is hitting that box.
We do
right
this
now.
all the time for a lot of big enterprise type companies, and they spend millions on things, and we still find things that a little camera that's doing chatter that has a backdoor because they bought it from China, and it's using it as a Linux server, and that little camera can be a server that spits out code to everywhere else, and then you can't find it, it pings all over. We do stuff like that all the time. So to make sure that you guys are safe, our biggest priority is ransomware. And not only that, we want to make sure, like I said, that checking the box for HIPAA is compliant, and you're compliant so you don't have to have those rigors of CMS in your way. But it's more important because the big dollars that people will exhume from you guys are ransomware, crypto lock. And that's what we do.
We're in the process of trying to slowly take the step forward now, because slowly as we get away from paper, you know, and we upload our reports, I want to take the redundancy out of the system. Now, Harrison is our software provider for billing, and we also use Office Live, that is our clearinghouse for CMS and Medicare, because we have to go through a clearinghouse. Okay, you can't go directly to Medicare. So we use these programs to load this information into. So if my staff, through what we're using presently, which I do not think it's DMC compliant with the state of Illinois, but it's not going to necessarily be where we can build it in with our software vendor, where I can cut out the redundancy. By the time it hits the office, that it's pre-populated a lot of the information to cut down the workload for the staff. So would you be the liaison in that case of us working with our vendors, say Harrison Software or someone, to work towards where when this information is uploaded that, you know, it pre-populates to help when we do our billing process?
We're literally our Raleigh. We're your third-party liaison, because at the end of the day, even though your core competency is in the ambulance district and you have certs around that, our core competency is IT, and we're your tech. We are your tech, and we're going to make sure that whatever competency that makes your job easier, right, from a software scenario, that we talk, whatever from an IT infrastructure within Union County, and make that correlate. So that is 100% our job. We do it all the time with third-party software. And it's in our contract. We can't guarantee that we can fix any third party. All we know is that we can be the liaison and make sure the systems here are up to date to the current level of requirements that those type of softwares ask. And then if there's SQL code that needs to be written or some type of back type of code that needs to be written on our system, so we have SQL code writers, part of our offering. It's not an extra charge. Those things are, some people would want to charge for them, but maybe it's our level of engineering. It's just not
It
sustainable.
makes our life easier too.
Yeah, we don't like to bill. I know it sounds weird, like our company wants to not bill, but it just is easier to not bill. We get more referrals that way, we get more business that way.
And in the same light of things here, do you do any kind of reports for us that we can print out as the board or the administrator as far as computer usage in the building?
We can use, what we use, Libre?
Yeah, we
We use Libre.
Or last.
Libre is probably just, it's a,
I don't mean snooping over, but I don't mean that.
No.
But what I'm saying is, if we've got a new employee and they're sitting on the computer, 3/4 of the day not working and doing other stuff, that we can know that.
I will say that most of people's monitoring, okay, layman kind of scenario, what we do monitor is look at people's like computer utilization, like how much they're on the internet, what sites they're kind of visiting, and how long, right?
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I mean, without being illegal, I'm not saying snoop on people, but I'm
Well,
saying,
There has been city governments that have asked us that, hey, our accounting lady never takes a vacation. And our auditor says that we need to do deep dive inspection on everything she does. Can you put a software on there that she doesn't know anything happened and it records everything she touches? Yeah, we have that too. But we also have what you're looking for, I think, which is just a blanket scenario. It says latency, like how much bandwidth we're using, who's the highest user on this said program, what is the most frequented website that you use, like, oh my gosh, how many people use Facebook? And, it's one of those, or maybe we can degrade and stop Facebook. I know some people do that kind of scenario. People can go, man, why is our bandwidth just dumping at noon? Well, Angie's on Pandora, just killing it, and sheriff and all the sheriffs are on Pandora, just eating the bandwidth. Of course, I'm just joking. But my point is now you can go at noon when your court tries to do something at noon, like she can't get anything out. It's because everybody's streaming Pandora, and you'd like to know, but no one ever talks about, like, listen to, the best of Leonard Skinner here.
That's another reason why we want the managed switches, because the managed switches will give us more of that type of info too. So we can look at the network overall, is it a bandwidth problem internally, or is it a bandwidth problem that, somebody's on the Pirate Bay downloading the latest Disney movie or something. So,
Yep, we can definitely do that, sir.
all right.
I have one more question. During one part, you were talking about a life cycle approach on the laptops, and basically, I think you said every 5 years or whatever, we come to an agreement. And you can look at serial numbers and get age. From one thing that I haven't seen is a list of what computers we have and how old they are, or so that we know how many need replaced pretty quickly versus the next 5 years. You were talking about doing that. Is that something that you're actually gonna do, or are you gonna expect me to tell you
No,
how
that's a
old
good
this
question.
is?
So in our, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
in our
okay.
contract, this leads me to a contract scenario that's a little bit different than most folks. So in M&S and IT, right, all the workload, not just a huge abundance of workload is discovery, right?
Yes.
Doing the discovery of all of everything, figuring out the paging system is really going to work. The DR system there. Doing a discovery of all your laptops and understanding the age approach, or life cycle approach, or when to get rid of it, right? So within our contract, you might have seen, and IT companies do this all the time as well, is the first month will include an additional one-time fee. So we will bill you a one-time fee on top of that, because that helps our cost structure. Because we're going to have a couple engineers here for like weeks straight, right? And if we only paid that one amount, it just helps us balance out the books, I guess, to say what, but at the end of the day, since we keep customers, I'm a big fan of this relationship. We give you it back the 12th month. If you stay with us, you get it back. So it's not like you're getting yanked for another month fee. It's just, it helps us from a P&L standpoint, but then if you stay with us, you get it back and we don't bill you 12 month. So it's included.
So you're
It's
doing
long.
the discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, because I need some laptops.
You
I
a
got
tough
one
book? Are
that's
you a tough book
got
guy?
duct tape on the ends right now.
Are you a tough book, CF19?
No, we actually use the Latitudes.
Latitudes, love them.
We just had to be able to get an arm, you know, because of all that vibration in the
So,
car.
do you guys use Havas or Gamma Johnson docks mounting? What do you guys use for the mounting?
Shut it in.
Autodesk. is-
Jotadesco, so it's in the middle console?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you have any,
I-
fixes a lot of things where we're from?
I tell you, we'll get an extra roll, and we'll even make it
But that was
camouflage.
one of my questions, I mean, how do you address that, because I've got some that really need to be, you know.
Right, I mean-
switched out, and-
We'll get you the best cost scenario.
Because tough books, they're awesome, but they're expensive.
100% they're expensive. They're really, I used to sell tough books.
So, I mean, that's why we went to this solution, we can get Latitude for under $1,000, and,
Well, you get docking too. Do you have a power dock? Do you have a power dock
Yeah.
that powers it from the
Yeah.
battery?
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you guys use GPS within that? Do you have a
No.
GPS?
you know,
Is your,
we just use our smartphones to make
There
our
you go.
connection.
is radar within your, or do you have in-car video at all? Or
No,
all
just,
audio?
with just body cam.
Body cam?
Yeah.
Does that go back to a server?
Well, that's another solution I want you to look at, because we're having, they come in and they download it manually, and if they've got 3 hours of video on there, it takes forever to download it.
What we do with the solution, at least a lot of people up in St. Louis, even southern Missouri, is we call it wireless dump. So in the bay, when they're dropping off perbs or just
Yeah.
in between shift changes, you pull up to a wireless bay, 2 or 3 wireless APs. Guys pull up to the dock, download the video for the day wirelessly. So when they come in, it literally, they can do their reports. Now, depending on what solution you have, you can be in the middle of a wireless dump offload, right? Let's say it's halfway through the 6 hours of video of a shift and you're halfway through. Sheriff gets another call. Boom, what they do, jump in the car and go. They ain't caring about the download of the video, right? Well, in some systems, we gotta start that all over again, right? That download process because there's a connection loss. But more solutions that we're at least leaning towards, and I like to try to push, is ones that cut off the video, and when the officer comes back in, picks up where it left off. So we do a lot of that.
We have a system called Liberty, I don't know if you've heard of them or not, video, and our cameras are on call, is the cameras.
On call, I know on call.
They're out of East St. Louis
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
metro area. But that's one of the issues that we have, is the downloading time and managing it. We're still loading them to a disk and buying tons of disks and putting them in evidence. I want to dedicate a server or something where it's an evidence vault, essentially for electronic media.
And what's great about, and I'm sorry, I'm getting off the topic, but from an evidentiary scenario, the chain of custody, especially what we do when you do an evidentiary server, and that you have that, what they call R730 hash, which means that data has not been touched whatsoever, and you can do an audit trail from that data. So chain of custody has a lock solid case from the state's attorney, so when they adjudicate a case, so that evidence, whereas other past solutions, video solutions, there is not an auditing trail. So with some advanced video type scenario, that the video can be edited, right? In this scenario with hashtagging, or not hashtagging, hashing, you can guarantee the integrity of the video throughout officer taking it, to download to server, to burning to DVD, to give to the state's attorney's office. So we do that all the time. Now, that solution can be expensive, it can be homegrown to some degree, but I think the middle tier is where
I
you
want
want
to
to
get
be.
away from these.
You don't want to be homegrown with
I'd
that.
like to communicate that directly to the state's attorney, if I can go paperless and
Right.
eventually, I know that may be.
The problem with the state's attorney is they don't like to open a VPN to anybody. So, and I mean anybody, whether it's Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas they work with, they like to have that sometime physical Blu-ray copy. Other folks have done what they call a secure email vault,
Yeah.
like a box. Have you ever heard of Box? Like it's a secure cloud scenario, and they send the video to Box. We have,
A lot of our phone data, when we do subpoenas and stuff, that's how they send it to us.
there you go.
I think we can do that with Azure Gov Cloud.
Yeah, Microsoft Azure has it for GovCloud, that you can send videos and send what we call evidentiary sensitive information via Azure Microsoft.
Okay. Gene, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
So, anything else? Just what is the modus operandi going forward from after all these presentations? Is there another final presentation, or just out of curiosity, how's that work?
It just depends on what you guys, everybody's gonna do their presentations,
Okay.
today, and then allowed for the rest of this week and next week until your board meeting on Friday is when we said we would make a decision.
Right.
But anytime next week, any questions, we can reach out to them, or if you need them to come back in to ask questions, then I'll give you guys a call. But-
Yeah, and also ad hoc, so I know some of these services we do that my other folks just might not do, but if, from a HIPAA security risk assessment, we can help you there. From a CAD server scenario, if some other person you pick, can't help in that regard, we'd love to help any way possible.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I got it here,
Thank
but what's
you.
in your company?
Oh, yeah, audit solve.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
You guys have a good day.
Thank you.
Yep.
Motion, or unless there's
Adjourning till,
recess.
sorry, a recess.
I'll make a motion to recess.
Second. Third.
Yeah.
Commissioner
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Tobey,
Yes.
Commissioner Hart. What time is it?
At 11:35.